Um,
Okay, hi everyone.
Hi.
I'm Manuel from Cameroon, and my group is looking at employee retainment. We first got the topic employee retainment, and we're like, what are we talking about? Employee retainment at what level? Because the realities are different. We, the folks from Africa, do not have the same issues with employee retainment as folks over here. And it's quite simple because here, employment level is really low. Unemployment is really low. So you don't have to, you have to worry about employee retention because you have this really cool talent that you get in your companies, and they always want to leave and go to the next company and explore because they have that possibility. The jobs are available. They can shift through jobs and help their way through upscaling companies and all that. But back home in Africa, we do not have that luxury, if I'll call it luxury, because unemployment is really high. If you're in a company and you're like, okay, I'm not happy, and you want to explore, the moment you leave, someone else is taking your spot. Someone probably better at doing what you are doing is taking your spot, and you might not even get to explore because you don't have a lot of options out there. So we did a good job of breaking down retainment at different levels. We looked at retainment at country level because the realities for employment are different for every country. And we looked at retainment at company level. We look at Tesla and look at Microsoft. Look at how they handled remote jobs. One of these companies, people want to work for it remotely, and another one is quite despicable. I won't say which one is which, but some of you might know that. So company culture plays a huge role on employee retainment. We thought that for a company to be able to retain their staff, they need to implement a culture that makes people want to be there. They shouldn't have people that are struggling to retain, but the company's culture should call people to be there and be happy. But how does a company make people happy? How does a company look at the top workers and the lower bottom workers and say, okay, we're going to make all of these people happy, create an environment where they can prosper, an environment where they want to stay, an environment where they can grow, where someone who's working in the line chain can find himself manager someday. It's all about the company's culture. How much are they paying these people? Because we're getting this job because of money. If I'm paid well enough, well, I might want to stay in the company, but at some point, money doesn't mean much anymore. How am I balancing life, work balance? How am I doing that? Is this company doing a good job of balancing all of that? That's another factor that comes into place. At some point, even that isn't enough. How is the leadership in this company? Is my voice heard? Can I give an opinion that management will take into consideration? Can they make adjustments to accommodate my needs as an employee? That's another thing. And what kind of leaders do we have? Do they listen to us? Do they identify each of our problems? Because we are different people, all trying to work for a common goal for bringing this company forward. But how is management handling us? How are these leaders listening to us? How can they interact with all of us? Those are all the things that make people want to stay in the company. And a bigger incentive even is, why should I keep working for this company? I mean, it's a company. If I die, you keep on being a company, you keep on doing this thing. But what if I got to own part of this company? That is one of the biggest incentives companies can have for their employees. Have you own part of the company? You aren't just working a job where when you die, the company will move on and forget about you. You're working a job where you own part of this. The better you make your job, the better you are doing what you're doing, the higher the stock of the company is. So you get to benefit from it. And then that stock isn't owned just by you. Your children come and they own that stock. So you leave a legacy in that company. It's not just a company where you're a boss of. This concept of owning part of the company is one that you can apply everywhere. Even in Africa where, there is a high unemployment rate, and someone else is going to get the job that you might be neglecting. If there's that incentive of being able to own the company, be it stock, a percentage, share, having a say on whatever, you get that connection to this company. You are like, okay, this is something more than just a job. I have added incentives. I have added incentives to do what I'm doing better. And yeah, that helps with employee retention, but then again, it's still not enough. People could get retained in companies because of incentives and everything, and well, they don't have anything better, but they are there, but are they being efficient at what they're doing? Is this where they really want to be? You could have all these incentives and you're sugarcoating things and selling them dreams and everything, and then an employee is in your company, but he might want more of his life. He might want to have time to do things that he cannot do by working for you from a 9 to 5 and all that. And these are all things that we try to take in perspective. And well, an utopia for employee retainment will really lie into a company's value for the human being that is working for them. It's not just about people having workers that come in and do a thing, even if they own part of the company. It's about valuing human beings, celebrating people, making them feel as part of a family, having that sense of culture where you're in a company and you feel like, okay, I found a family here, I found a home here. I can relate with the workers around me. I can have a friend in my co-worker. I have a sense of being grounded where I am. And that's essentially the utopia that needs to be created, be it in the US, be it in Cameroon, my home country, wherever it is, because there will always be a better employer, there will always be a better paying person, there will always be someone who is trying to give you more incentives, but that place where you have found some sort of happiness is that company where you will want to be and always be. That's our take on employee retainment. Thank you. Questions?
Questions or ice cream?
Ice cream. Question.
Yes.
You know, I look historically from the time that cars were invented, and then Mr. Ford came along and he streamlined production lines. Today, computers are replacing us. So human beings are less and less important in the lower level production systems because they can be replaced by computers, by robots.
So what's your question?
So I think it's a defeating endeavor. So that's my question. Is it a defeating endeavor because the owners, the money, the powers to be, profit more if all the niceties that employees need are completely eliminated and substituted by robots who don't have those needs?
So what's the question?
You gotta cross that bridge first.
Yeah. Can I say something to help him out? I think, one, you're right, because you probably come from a generation where you worked for a company for 20 or 30 years in the United States, okay? I think the issue here, and I think around the world, you're right, computers, software are replacing lower jobs, but I think that's where our education system needs to change. You know, I think in this country, everyone's being pushed, you gotta go to college, But college is not meant for everyone.
I am sorry to interrupt, but if we're trying to direct questions at him, or we go get ice cream.
Yeah,
Any-
ice
Yeah.
cream.
Any questions for the presenter? Okay, then the last round.